Welcome to today's class. I think we are just continuing nuclear physics. That is so called. The chapter name is nuclei. Okay, and this is lecture 4. The present lecture is nuclei lecture 4. Okay, and here in this present chapter we have to first of all just see a few seconds that what we have studied in our previous lecture. In previous lecture we discussed something related to our mass defect. Okay, and when we discuss mass defect, then it is very obvious that it is the difference between the sum of mass of nucleons and the mass of nucleus itself. That is mass defect. Clear? And there we also studied one more important thing that is casually people study casually, but it is very important. Sometimes it is asked in 1 mark question. That is packing fraction delta m upon a. Packing fraction delta m upon a means mass defect upon mass number. Okay, that is packing fraction. Here it is what we call mass defect per unit number of nucleon. Okay, per unit number of nucleon. Per nucleon we can say per unit not okay, per nucleon mass unit per nucleon. Okay, and after that we will study that is what is binding energy. Broadly speaking, we said that the energy corresponding to mass defect is called binding energy, but it is not enough. It's not definitely not enough. How could we say that? What is how we define binding energy? Binding energy for a nucleus is that minimum energy which is required to separate the nucleons permanently, and they separate them in such a way that they could never reconstruct to make the nucleus again. Okay, that is how we define the binding energy. Yeah. Now we write binding energy is that minimum energy which is required to separate the nucleons permanently. बाइंडिंग एनर्जी क्या हो गया? इसके मतलब बाइंडिंग एनर्जी वो मिनिमम एनर्जी है जो कि न्यूक्लियस को यानी कि प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन को परमानेंटली अलग करने के लिए जो इस्तेमाल में आते हैं. इट इज दैट मिनिमम एनर्जी विच इज यूज और विच इज रिक्वायर्ड टू सेपरेट or to split the nucleus into its constituents, into its nucleons. Okay, and that is protons and neutrons are separated permanently so that they can never reunite to generate or to regenerate a nucleus. This is what we call binding energy. How it is calculated? It is again I say that it is definitely mathematically it is the energy equivalent of mass defect. That means binding energy EB EB equal to uh, delta m c square. Delta m c square. That means delta m can be written as uh, z into mass of proton plus a minus z mass of neutron, mass of neutron minus mass of nucleus. This is into c square. This is the formula for your binding energy. What is binding energy? ZMP means it is just we can say this is equal to Z means it is atomic number into mass of proton plus A minus Z. A minus Z means it is the mass number minus atomic number. Mn is your mass of a nucleus minus capital Mn. It is the mass of nucleus. Mass of nucleus. This is all about the mass defect. Into C square is your energy. It is the energy equivalent of mass defect, and we call it as binding energy. Definition is very simple. It is that minimum energy which is required to separate the nucleus permanently, sorry, nucleons permanently. That is to separate the neutrons and protons separately, so that they have to be separated permanently so that they can never reunite to form the nucleus again. This is what we have. The binding energy means. It is a general significance. Or now here it is not general significance. Here it is the mathematical order. When we call binding energy per nucleon, then obviously we have to take, suppose I am just using this portion, binding energy per nucleon, it is equal to EV upon A. That means we have ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus MN C square divided by A. This is binding energy per nucleon. This means whatever we are having, if all the masses are taken in AMU and then it subsequently changes into kg, then it is joule per, it is just joule, okay, joule per nucleon. Well, now this can also be converted into million electron volt or just electron volt by dividing it by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 90, that mass charge of electron. अगर charge of electron से इस चीज को divide कर दे तो जो कुछ binding energy आएगा वो electron volt में आएगा, और उसको और 10 to the power 6 से और divide कर दे तो वो हो जाएगा million electron volt. जो कुछ that is in million electron volt. Why I am discussing all such things? Because they are very, very important in describing many important physical phenomena uh, like nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. They are different type of nuclear reaction, in fact. Okay, and therefore in the next section we have to discuss nuclear this binding energy curve. We have discussed what is binding energy. Now we discuss, since it takes a lot of time to draw, I have already drawn it, and I will just explain this. This is called binding energy curve. Okay, this curve is drawn between the binding energy per nucleon. This is in million electron volt, and we have taken mass number. Here we have taken mass number. You can see 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 like this. Okay, these are the mass number, what we call as A, and this is binding energy EB per A, binding energy per nucleon EB per A, that we have taken here, and here we have taken along x-axis we have taken the mass number. Okay, now let us see. Here the lowest one we take, it is a 2H deuterium atom, and this is your tritium atom. Here we can see it is 6 Li lithium. Here we can see it is helium, and it is 4 helium, of course, helium 4, and then it is nitrogen 14. Although these numbers are not clearly visible, you can just have a look that I am just enlarging that, so can you can very easily see that how we have drawn all the numbers, and there have been very enlarged form. That the lowest one we take 2H means deuterium, then it is tritium, then it is lithium, then it is helium, carbon 12, nitrogen 14, oxygen 18, etc. Okay. Now, after giving you all the details in close up, we can just see that what we observe, that when we have the at mass number less than 20, you can just see less than 20, then we have very good maximum and minimum peaks. That is, we can very easily have the sharp maximum and minimum peaks. Somewhere the binding energy is maximum, and then somewhere it's minimum, and then again maximum, and then again minimum. It keeps on. And after that, after 50 and onwards, it is almost very smooth curve. This curve is almost, it is not flat totally, but it is very smooth. Okay, and it is around 8 to 9. It is between 7.5 to 8.5 million electron volt energy per nucleon here. And the most stable is your iron. Most stable is your iron, that is Fe56, and that is why it is at the highest energy level, around 8.6 million electron volt. Its corresponding energy level is this one. It is 8.6 million electron volt. You can very easily observe that how large it is. Okay, and after that, there are many other bigger nuclei, but we finally take uranium 238, and 238 means it is less than 250, and it is beyond 200. In fact, we can see that both the types of things are very important. We can conclude some of the points, which are the points from the curve. That is, number one, if A is less than 20, then star maximum or minimum peaks are peaks are observed. Number two, okay, between 40 to around 200, not 200, maybe from A equal to 40 to 140. The curve is smooth. Curve is smooth means there is no peaks. Remember, I am just telling what we have said. That is, if A is less than 20, and then sharp is it is we can say sharp maximum or minimum peaks are observed. Very clear. And if it is between 40 to 140, then curve is almost smooth, very smooth. In fact, number three is that uh, maximum in binding energy per nucleon is obtained for iron, 56, Fe56. Okay, this is found. And after 140, we can see the energy is reduced. After A equal to A is beyond, A is greater than 140, then binding energy reduces gradually. Okay. Now, whichever points we have discussed, I will just again show you the details in last form. You can just see what is the first point. That is, if A is less than 20, sharp maximum and minimum peaks are observed. And number two, if A is between 40 to 140, curve is smooth. And number three is maximum binding energy per nucleus is obtained for iron 56. And number four is after A is greater than 140, the binding energy per nucleon is reduced. Okay, it reduces gradually. That means we have seen that how this curve is important. Well, at the same time, we can very easily observe that with the effect of this, we can easily explain the nuclear process like nuclear fission and fusion. Okay, uh, for smaller nuclei, they are unstable. They are not so stable. Therefore, they can recombine to make a new, bigger, heavier nucleus, and with the effect of which there will be some corresponding release of energy. At the same time, when we say the bigger or heavier nuclei like uranium, with the effect of with the addition of one neutron from additional source, when that neutron comes to it, then what we get? We can get that this heavy nucleus is broken into two fragments. Okay, and sometimes we take chain reaction also, that we will discuss in the next lecture only. This is the general idea about the thing. Let us take the idea like what we call how we discuss nuclear fission and fusion. Now we have to discuss these two nuclear processes or two nuclear reaction. Uh, First of all, we discuss what is nuclear fission. As the name implies, the nuclear fission means something when we call that a bigger nucleus is broken into smaller nuclei. Okay, along with the release of energy, a huge energy, in fact, a huge energy. Okay, and why this huge energy comes, I will just explain. And in another type of reaction, when two smaller nuclei combine together, they can generate a new bigger nucleus. Okay, and there also there is always some energy that is released. Okay, now let us see how we take. The first one is this one, 1 and 0. That means it is a neutron, free neutron. When it is in fact a slow neutron, when it strikes uranium 235, an isotope of uranium 238 in fact, when it strikes, then it becomes an unstable nucleus. It is uranium 236 92, and it splits up into barium and krypton. Barium and krypton along with three neutron. Again, it makes three neutrons, and with the release of Q, that is energy. And energy is as high as 200 million electron volt. This is one type of reaction. Another type of reaction is that when two lighter nuclei, that is both are hydrogen nuclei, they combine together to form another hydrogen, that is this is deuterium, which is formed along with the release of this positron plus neutrino and 0.42 million electron volt. This is an example. Okay, you can very easily say that in the case of fission, larger amount of energy is used. That is why we can use that energy in constructive as well as destructive. In both the ways we use that. This is something. Let us see what is fission. What is nuclear fission? This is in fact the definition. This is in fact the example of nuclear fission. Nuclear fission, and this is the example of nuclear fusion. First one is nuclear fission. ये फिशन का एग्जाम्पल है. दूसरा वाला है न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन का. Okay, दो अलग अलग एग्जाम्पल है, एक न्यूक्लियर फिशन एक न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन का है। तो हम देख सकते हैं कि न्यूक्लियर फिशन क्या है, जिसमें एक न्यूट्रॉन अगर एक स्लो न्यूट्रॉन अगर यूरेनियम 235 में ज्वाइन करे, स्ट्राइक करे, जैसे भी हो उसके साथ कंबाइन करे, तो एक अनस्टेबल यूरेनियम बनता है 236, जो कि स्प्लिट हो जाते हैं बेरियम और क्रिप्टन में। अगर मैं इनके मास नंबर्स को जोड़े 141 प्लस 92, इट इज हाउ मच इट कम्स प्लस 3 न्यूटन, इट 236। देखो 141 प्लस 92 ये हो जाएगा आपका 233 प्लस 3 236 हो गया। यहाँ पर देखिए 92 यहाँ पर है और यहाँ पर 56 है 36, इन दोनों का ऐड करेंगे 56 प्लस 36 दैट बिकम्स 92। दैट में उधर से भी ये बैलेंस हो जाता है। तो इनको जब जोड़ा जाता है, जब इनके व्हेन वी ऐड द masses of the product and this is the masses of the reactant, we observe that the masses of product is less than that those of product sorry those of reactant masses of product। इन दोनों के मास जोड़ देंगे तो EMU से, तो इनका टोटल जो होगा सम इन दोनों के सम से कम आता है। तो कम आता है इसका मतलब एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी कहाँ पे जाएगा, एक्स्ट्रा मास that is converted into energy, that is called Q। Okay, and that Q is around 200 million electron volt for this particular example। and this is nuclear fission fusion। और न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन में क्या होता है, न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन में आपको फ्यूजन में ये होता है कि दो छोटे छोटे न्यूक्लियस आपस में जोड़ने के बाद एक नया न्यूक्लियस बनता है, बट नया न्यूक्लियस का मास इन दोनों के मास से कम आता है। तो जो एक्स्ट्रा मास बचा वो मास वो फिर कन्वर्ट कर देता है एक एनर्जी में, मास एनर्जी कन्वर्जन। ओके, दिस इज हाउ वी डिफाइन दिस। तो न्यूक्लियर फिशन एंड फ्यूजन में फिशन मीन्स fission is splitting of big nucleus into smaller nuclei, okay, plus energy is released। and in case of nuclear fusion two small nuclei combine to form a bigger nucleus प्लस एनर्जी। यहाँ पर भी प्लस एनर्जी रिलीज दोनों में होता है। जैसे इसको थोड़ा हम लोग जरा वो देख सकते हैं हम लोग। न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन क्या है, न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन टू स्मॉल न्यूक्लियर कंबाइन टू फॉर्म अ बिगर न्यूक्लियस वेयर energy is formed, that nucleus new object plus energy is released। in case of nuclear fission, a splitting of a bigger nucleus into smaller nuclei, here also some energy is formed। all the details of nuclear fission and fusion along with the nuclear reactor will be discussed in the next lecture। and with that we have completed today's lecture, and I think you must have understood the basics of the। Okay, thank you।